To South Sudan now, and the UN representative to the country is urging leaders to engage in dialogue to end the ongoing conflict. David Shearer says military intervention is not an option, but rather the implementation of the peace agreement. CGTN's Patrick Oyet sat down with Shearer and began by asking just how bad the situation has become.
There are 1.5 million people living outside of South Sudan out of a population of 11 million. 2 million people inside of South Sudan who have fled their homes and are living in different places. That's a third, nearly a third of the entire population of the country who don't feel safe in the communities that they're living in, and where we're trying to, as the United Nations, trying to support and help those people and take care of them. Getting food to areas is horrendously difficult because of the logistics and the lack of roading and things like that. But on top of that, in many of the areas that we want to access, where there is conflict, there is displaced people. Where there are displaced people, there are people who are in absolute need. And where there are in absolute need, then humanitarian agencies and the United Nations wants to get to those people. Unfortunately, time and time again, we are being blocked by the government, largely by the government. Sometimes it's the opposition forces, but it's largely the government. And we are battling to be able to get there. It's at the upper reaches of the government. They are saying that it's perfectly fine to travel. What we're finding, though, is when it comes down to the people who are the commanders who are actually making the decisions, and even the lower ranks, we're being stopped constantly from being able to get to places we want to get to.